Celebrating Spelling in time and space! This is your host, TheAmariaShadow, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back once again to some more of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Hello, Leah. Welcome to the live stream. We're going to be concluding this Let's Play today. We are going to be playing through the remainder of Episode 5, so we can move on to different Let's Plays in the upcoming future. So we're going to try and finish this today. So without further ado, let's get started right away. Today's adventure and see what's in store for us. Alonzi! Sayaka, you really need to stop changing your name. Like, seriously. You've got to stop changing your name. February 9th, 3:43 a.m. Hottie Clinic, Intensive Care Unit. I'm still up at this hour, reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case my mentor, Mia Fey, had ever handled in a court of law. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Dahlia Hawthorne. What I have read, I don't want to believe. What is written here? That isn't the Dahlia I knew. After falling into Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. But I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. I feel dizzy, my ears are ringing, my throat burns, and my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. And I know that he will be able to help me with him. Somehow! I need an idea for a character for a manga I am thinking of to make the plot better for my manga. I see. February 9th, 2:43 p.m., Dusky Bridge. Right, are you sure you're well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face. Or maybe Viridian in artist. Actually, my fever has gone down quite a bit. How's your temperature now? Only 102.2 degrees, nothing to worry about. Anyway, I read today's trial record. You weren't bad, Edward. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances. We're not in the clear yet. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon. Yeah. In the end, the Shichizinko did not deliver the deadly blow, which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about. Another sword, huh? Don't you worry about a thing, pal. I'll dig up the murder weapon myself, or I'll eat my coat. Thanks again, Edward. I'll handle things from here. That is probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit. There's something I want to look into, and that is our client's background, naturally. You mean Iris, sir? I have the feeling that we've met before. The manga plot is like the MC group goes to academy to learn magic and kill vampires. Okay. All I want is confirmation, one way or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you, I'm sorry, Edward. I bid you adieu, right? Take care. Guess I should get moving too. Why? Do you need to be somewhere? Yeah, I've got to get to work on this bridge, pal. I'm rigging something up so we can get across to the other side. Ah! That's right! Maya's still stuck over at the inner temple! But don't you worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, Gumshoe. No problem, pal. Just try not to give me that cough of yours, okay? Alright, I'm off. Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out, I promise. But in the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence. Oh. February 9th, Hasakura Temple, main gate. Come on, please! It's for art's sake, I swear! There's only one guy I know who could be this persistent and high-strung. I'm talking about the heroine here, the heroine in my book. It'll make you famous. Ah! Enough! A fool's fool, who foolishly accept the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix Wright? Huh? Me? Wait a second. I know you. You're, Ow! Your reflexes and mine need to shape up. My brain's frying like a sunny side up, and you want to grill me over a name? Francie, you can't do that! Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death, or so I'm told. Whip a dead horse. Isn't that one of your American sayings? No, it's not! And I'm not on the brink of anything! Come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book, Francie's Whippity Whip Trip. Ah! Before you ask me to model, learn to give at least some semi-coherent testimony. Before that, you'll have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry. I don't care what anyone says. I'm telling the truth. I saw what I saw. She flew, I'm telling you. Whoosh! Just like that dude with the red underwear. Don't think I'm going to forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize. Off he goes. It's amazing how little has changed with you in the past year, Phoenix, Wright? Have you been in Germany all this time? That's right. Extending my perfect win record, naturally. Oh joy, sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met? I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Franziska was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. Her father was the legendary prosecutor, Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years, but now he is gone from this world. Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me because of what happened to your father. Phoenix, Wright? You will fall before me. This I promise, but it will be for my sake, not my father's. Are we clear? Yes, crystal. In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense. Edgeworth. Come to think of it, Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manfred von Karma as well. Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you. Because it does, and that's precisely why I am here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-weensy pieces all the better. It's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile that it's almost kind of cute. Ow! No spurting! No whipping the sick! That foolish fool doing such a foolish favor for such a foolishly foolish fool. Edgeworth, make no mistake, Phoenix, Wright? I came here for one thing, and one thing only. To pulverize you. It's not like I thought you were here to bring me some cold killer X, you know. Oh, excuse me. Jesus. Sorry. I went over the whole case file on the flight over. You read the whole thing? Yes, every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph. All the ridiculous things you did made it a very interesting read, you know. Attempting to cross the burning bridge? Did you even consider the dangers? No. The only thought in my mind was, I have to get across. A fool who doesn't think is more foolish than a fool who foolishly thinks. Don't you said he'd let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's got to be okay, I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the inner temple that night. That was one long sigh. Sister Bati? My, I didn't know you were here. How are you doing? You don't have to pretend to be in a good mood for my sake. I suppose I've made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? I let Mystic Elise die, and then there's Iris as well. Mystic Elise? Now that I think about it, there's an acolyte stuck at the inner temple. And that poor little girl has gone missing too. That little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you? Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been seen since the morning after the incident. Pearls? She's missing? Why didn't anyone tell me about this? I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself. Are you talking about your performance in the trial today? You believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar. I would never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull that sword from Mystic Elise's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least I was until this morning. I don't see any Cyclops, so she must be telling the truth. So why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden? You know that artist who testified after me? I saw Iris flying, her white hood fluttering. I felt like I might start flying myself. When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I had acted just like him when I was on his witness stand. I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble, and nothing else. If both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth... Nice! That can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw. On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the Inner Temple, is that correct? That's right, I'm sure it was Iris. But Iris claimed she was in her room in Hasatora Temple. I knew I shouldn't have come back here that night, but because you did, Maya is stuck all by herself at the Inner Temple. I am so sorry. The drafts at that place are nothing to shake a stick at. Winter is especially bad. I'll bet. The training hall looks like it's about to fall down any second. Eagle Mountain has always been prone to earthquakes, just so you know. Earthquakes? Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall. We've got to get Maya out of there! Fast! But still, there's really no need to worry. That area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island. It's like an island? How so? Well, the only thing on that side of the bridge is the Inner Temple. No one lives out there, and it's surrounded on all sides by the river or the forest. I see. So a criminal would be trapped should they choose to flee in that direction. And as long as the bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay there. That means Maya could be stuck out there with a murderer, and with no way of escape either! Oh dear, yes, I suppose it does! Please, Gumshoe, get that bridge up fast! I'm curious about a few things if you don't mind answering some questions. Oh, do you need to know my measurements for your investigation or something? No. I want to know a little more about the victim, Miss Elise Donum. I'm afraid I don't know her waist size, or her bust size, for that matter. No, I'm wondering why she came to stay in a place like this to begin with. I mean, she told us herself that she wasn't here for spiritual training. My, you make it sound like this place is some sort of dump, Mr. Wright. Mr. Elise was here to soak up the natural beauty of Eagle Mountain, if you must know. There, you did it again, Sister Bikini. I noticed you always refer to Miss Donum as Mystic Elise. Oh? Yes, now why is that? After all, she's not here as an acolyte. We address our visitors as mystic. It makes their experience feel authentic. Anyway, she's older than me. You must respect your elders, you know? How do you know that? How can you say for sure that she's older than you? It seems Miss Elise Donum was no ordinary visitor after all. And there's Pearls. She was with Miss Donum on the evening of the murder, and now she's vanished. It's all got to be connected somehow. Why did Pearls have to get mixed up in this mess? Please, Mr. Wright, I know you're worried, but try to keep it together. Oh, man. My head's throbbing so bad it's killing me. Pearls, she was with Miss Donum on the night of the murder, remember? Yes, but I have a temple to run, you know. I was busy preparing for the training. I didn't see the little darling even once after we'd finished eating dinner. The murder? It didn't take place right in front of her innocent eyes, did it? According to the detective, she hasn't turned up at her home either. Come on, keep calm. There's one place left where Pearls could be. She just has to be there. Come on, Gumshoe, tell me you'll be done with the repairs soon. February 9th, Hasekura Temple Courtyard. This is where Sister Bikini witnessed the incident. It's hard to imagine she was lying on the stand, so maybe there are some clues that have yet to be found. Hey! What was that jarring, inconsiderately loud yell? So this is where you've been, keeping nice and warm, I see. Detective, have you finished the bridge? Yeah, I did. I told you I'd let you know. Well, then I'll come along with you, man. Sorry, ma'am. No unauthorized entry. Access is restricted to people involved in the case. What was that? I'm involved, aren't I? You couldn't get much more involved than me. Well, yeah, but that's not what I mean. Ah! It's been a while, Scruffy. It's Miss Karma! Sister, please leave the investigation to me. My. Well, you certainly seem to have everything under control. What is your top 10 anime? That's a tough question to answer. I am on your side. I won't do anything you won't. H anime. I am not telling you that! I won't do anything you don't want me to. As you work to pin the guilt on Iris. What are you daydreaming about, Phoenix, Wright? Ow! That hurts, you know! Silence! I, Francisca von Karma, will personally guide you through your investigation, so you will follow me. She's not seriously going to follow me around, is she? Top 10 anime. That's really tough to tough to answer. I'd have to actually think about that. February 9th, Inner Temple Gate. Things have certainly become a lot more hectic than before. They must have commenced with the investigation. Oh, Mr. Nick! That voice! Pearls! Mr. Nick! Mr. Nick! So you were here, ever since that night. I was so lonely, I thought I was going to die. When I woke up in the morning and saw that dusky bridge was gone, I realized I was all alone. She was all alone. It must have been very trying for you, little girl. I am Francisca von Karma, the prodigy. There's no need to worry about that here. You're the prosecutor who was so mean to Mystic Maya last year. Well, I don't like you. You're nothing but a little girl without your whip. Oof! Oof! Right to the heart! Mystic Maya didn't do anything wrong, but you were so mean. I'll never forgive you. It looks like Pearl's words are getting under her skin. Ow! Why are you whipping me? I didn't even say anything! You didn't have to. The smile on your lips gave you away. Anyway, Pearls, weren't you with Maya? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Huh? What are you talking about, Pearls? What? Mystic Maya! Hey, wait! Pearls! She just ran off. Ow! That was cruel, Phoenix, right? To make a little girl cry like that is inexcusable. What was that all about? Pearls acting like that is giving me the creeps. I guess I'd better take another look around since I finally got a chance. Especially since something about this place seems different from 2 days ago. You mean like this? Like this obvious incinerator that's been used? There's a weird smell coming from that incinerator. The door is also open, almost like it's begging for me to look inside. Well, let's see what stunning clue is concealed in here, shall we? Huh? It's empty! How naive of you, Phoenix, right? But it's a bit strange, don't you think, Francisca von Karma? I seem to remember. There was snow on this incinerator the first time I saw it. In other words, someone's been using it to burn something recently. Listen, Phoenix, right? It's impertinent to call people by their full name. I was only copying you. February 9th, Inner Temple Training Hall. What's wrong? Why are you so quiet? Maya, she was supposed to be in here training. Yet it appears she's nowhere to be seen. What's that? That strange lock. It wasn't there 2 days ago. This whole room is really giving off some strange vibes. This door. When I was here 2 days ago, that weird lock wasn't on it. Those chains, it's almost as if they're guarding something inside that cavern. I've never seen a lock quite like this before. I have. I've seen locks and chains just like this before. They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a cyclops. I wonder if this lock is guarding something too. dark secrets in a dark cavern. What do you think this yellowish poster is, Phoenix, right? It's a scroll, not a poster. It's a picture of a woman who's actually... A woman? I don't see any woman here. There's a different atmosphere in this room since the last time I was here. No, it's not a different atmosphere. It's a different smell! It's gravy! What's the matter? This scroll has been completely covered in gravy! Ah, yes, there is a very appetizing smell in the air. But gravy is a type of sauce. So when you run out of pink, you Americans use gravy as a substitute, I see. No, no one does that! For starters, it stinks! This must be the gravy that we had with the roast on the night of the incident. But why would anyone do this? Why this scroll? What took you so long? I thought even you'd manage to get here faster than this, Mr. Wright. Prosecutor Godot! I didn't know you were here. Prosecutor? How come you didn't show up at the trial today? Ha! I could ask you the exact same question. Huh? But I had a cold, so I had something slightly more important than a common cold to deal with. The importance of which is something you have no hope of ever understanding. Enough! I believe I have the measure of you. You are the very worst kind of prosecutor. What could be more important than a trial? Who's the wild mare, Wright? This is Miss Von Karma. She was the acting prosecutor in your absence today. Ha! Well, I guess I owe you one then. But you can go now, Princess. It's time for the big boys to protect the news. Just who do you think you are? This case is mine! Hey, Philly, know your role and shut your mouth. I can't stand women like you. I'm only going to say this once, Lady Von Whippingberg. Go home! Phoenix Wright? What are you hitting me for? Ha! You deserve more cracks of the whip than that, Trot. What? You still don't get it, do you? You don't realize that you've set something in motion that you'll never be able to undo. There's something different about Godot today. I'm getting such a strong sense of something from behind that mask of his. Is it anger or is it sorrow? He has some important business and that's why you were in court, huh? So what was it? I told you once before, but perhaps you don't remember. I returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. You see, Trot, I've experienced something most have not. Yes. You died? Of course, being extradited from hell is a tedious affair. The meticulous regeneration and adjustment of all your internal organs is, well, let's just say modern medicine allows us all to live to a ripe old age. Even someone like me. So you mean that mask you wear is this ugly device? I promise it's not a fashion statement, my enlightened friend. Without this, I can't see your frequently dumbfounded face. I didn't know. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Still, I keep this worn-out piece of junk of a body going with regular servicing. I'm sorry, but you say you experienced death? How is that possible? What happened? Why don't you ask him? Huh? Me? Yeah, Trot. You should know all about it. You know when my life ended and who ended it for me. Well, Phoenix Wright, do you? I don't know what he's talking about. Although, to be honest, I do feel a little tug at the corner of my memory. I think I do know about how Godot was killed. It would all become clear in due time. Isn't that right, Trot? Earlier, you said I've done something I can never undo. What did you mean by that exactly? The inner temple here on this side of Dusky Bridge is an isolated island. That's what Sister Bikini said too. And I wonder, Trot, you know what the police are doing here today? What do you mean? They're searching for any trace of an acolyte who went missing. Missing? As leader of the search party, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. Maya Fey is not on this side of Dusky Bridge. Huh? But that's impossible! She came here that night and... I won't say it again. The chances of her being here are nil. Excluding, of course, one very unique place. One? Where is that? The Sacred Cavern, the entrance of which we are standing at right now. This is the only place that the search party has yet to explore. So they haven't searched that cavern yet, huh? Be aware, though, that the temperature inside frequently falls below freezing. Even if she weren't there, the chances of her being found alive are slim at best. No! Which means, Wright, that you sent Maya Fey to her death. You fool! If that's the situation, why aren't you in there with a search party right now? You must have blinders on, my equestrian angel. Don't you see the big lock and chain? It's a trick lock. I'm making preparations to open it as we speak. Well, Wright, once again, a woman dies because of you. Once again? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you've forgotten. It wasn't only 2 years ago, after all, when the last unfortunate woman died because of you. Because of me. And do you know who that was? It was Maya Fey's sister. That's right, Mia Fey. Mia? You killed her. No, that's not how it was. It was 2 years ago. But Mia Fey was pursuing someone. A man. She bit off more than she could chew. She made a very dangerous enemy. Yeah, that's one case I'll never forget. But I got that guy, personally. Sure, Miss Fey's murder was caught. That won't bring her back. Well, no, but you were with her at the time. You and no one else. It was your responsibility. You should have protected her. You say Mia Fey was your teacher. Well then, I'd say you've learned nothing, right? You robbed her of her life. And now, you let her sister suffer the same fate. I haven't sentenced Maya to death. No! What is this peculiar-looking lock here? Why don't we just break it open? It would be a simple matter of... I'm afraid we can't do that. The area has always been prone to earthquakes. Repeated tremors have weakened the foundations of the training wall. Any excessive force used to break the lock open away. Well, let's just say the inner temple of the Sacred Cavern would be a good fast. Very well, dare I suggest the obvious solution of opening it with the key? Ha! Sure, just show me where the keyhole is on this trick clock. There's no keyhole? That's right. An interesting puzzle, huh? The person who set this lock is the only one who can open it. And who was it? Simple. Confused. What? Iris? Acolyte undergoes training inside the Sacred Cavern. The tending sister is responsible for locking the entrance. Obviously, the night of the murder was no exception. Maya Fey was to train in there. Sister Keen has mentioned it a number of times now that I think about it. She said that Iris was left in charge of supervising the earlier stages of the training. So Iris, the accused, is the only one who can open this lock. I've arranged for her to be brought here now. Iris is the only person who can open this lock? I hope she gets here soon. Hang on in there, Maya. We'll get you out. So, I should be getting back to work. Wait, Goto! How sure about Maya are you? There's no doubt in my mind. She's in the Sacred Cavern somewhere. It's the only place she could be. You'd better start praying. You'd better pray that friend of yours bring the accused back here soon. Edgeworth? Listen up, Trot. There's only one thing I want to say to you before I go. I'll never accept you. Never. You should choose your friends more carefully, Phoenix, right? That's what everyone says. It looks like I don't have much of a choice. I guess I'll just have to do what I can for now. I don't know. Should I or shouldn't I? Sounds like someone's talking to himself, but where's that coming from? Yeah, I guess I better wash that off. That's what I'll do. No, but I can't do that. I'm a detective. Ah, my brain! This is driving me nuts! Ah! Is something trouble you, Stuffy? Please don't whip me like that all of a sudden, sir! It was merely a simple greeting, a friendly tap on the shoulder, with my whip. So what's up, Gumshoe? Is something on your mind? How did you know, pal? As you were trying to decided if you wanted to wash that off or not. How did you know, sir? Oh, yeah, I nearly forgot. You can't go through that little gate there, okay? You mean the one that says no entry on it? I'm kinda already stuck in there. Is he trying to be clever or something? What's behind that, Scruffy? Huh? A kind of garden-like garden. A garden? Yeah, anyway, it's under investigation right now, so keep out. I'm not telling you, I'm asking you, pal. You got me? Isn't it normally the other way around? Well, see you later. So, shall we adjourn to this garden, Phoenix Wright? Of course, what else would we do? I really want to know what Gumshoe was thinking of washing off. Ooh! My eye is itching! There's a strange feeling in the air. I wonder what it is. Strange feeling. Forget about that. What's that strange writing on the stone lantern? Ah! What are you doing here, sir? I thought I said you can't come in here! Don't you know, Scruffy? Avant Karma will always show up wherever there is a clue. And there are plenty of clues to be found here. But... What the heck is... It couldn't be more obvious! It says, Maya. Yeah, and before you ask, it's written in blood. You will answer all our questions out, Scruffy. Without exception! Yes, sir! Well, this is odd. There's no snow on the ground here. It's an almost perfect rectangle. It couldn't have happened naturally. Yes, it appears as though someone has carefully cleared away the snow. No doubt it was you, wasn't it, Scruffy? Huh? No, it wasn't me, sir. It was already like that when my men and I got here to start the investigation. If it wasn't the police, then who did it? Oh, yeah, there's something I need to tell you, just between the three of us, okay? What is it? It's top secret. You can't tell anyone, got it? Understood. Well, when I was a kid, I got knocked out of the local wrestling contest, you see. I was so disappointed I just picked up my mouth guard and cried all the way home. Man, I got in so much trouble when I left it on the couch. Is that it? That's it! Ah! Whoever cleared the snow away must have had a reason. Although I can't even begin to imagine what that reason could be. There's a charm or something poking out from the snow. It looks pretty old. There's a leather cord tied to it, too. Apparently it belonged to the victim. Miss Elise Donham? Yeah, there was a broken leather cord around the lady's neck. The ends of the cord found on both the victim and on this charm match exactly. Sounds to me like this little trinket is going to be my ticket to getting some very big answers. So how's the Intertemporal investigation going? We have the best forensic team in the world working the place. Forensic team? And what was the outcome of this scientific study? Nothing! Scientifically speaking, the place is as clean as a whistle. That's simply not good enough, Scruffy. Do you think I'll let you get away with that? Uh-oh. Well, there was a couple of things that bothered me when I first got here, sir. That stone lantern and the surrounding area that's not covered in snow, correct? They look kind of fishy to me, you know, scientifically speaking. So I got the lab boys to look them over. The results were... It's actually kind of hard to say, actually. I guess I better look into them myself. About Maya. Oh, did Mr. Godot tell you yet? Yes, we heard. He's got a search party out looking for her. But there's nowhere else she could have disappeared to on this side of Dusty Bridge. All we can do is wait for Mr. Edgeworth to get here, pal. Edgeworth? He's escorting Iris to the defendant over here. We'll have to wait, since she is the only one who can open the door to the sacred cavern. Oh, I think Mr. Edgeworth wants to talk to you about something too, pal. Huh? I wonder what it is. Just don't be expecting any good news when you talk to him. When I spoke to him, Mr. Edgeworth sounded so down I felt like I was drowning. Sounds pleasant. Maya, so those letters are written in blood? Yeah. What's worse is it's the victim's blood. Huh? This is Miss Dono's blood? We haven't done a detailed analysis yet, but it's looking that way, pal. Most interesting. Phoenix Wright, I presume you know, don't you? Why Maya's name is written upside down. You know what? That was really bothering me, too. I just came up with the answer, the result of my own special gumshoe investigation. Really? Do tell. Well, on the night of the murder, the stone lantern was upside down! Anyway, there's really only one logical explanation to this mystery. Miss Elise Donham wrote these letters herself in her own blood. You must be joking! That's impossible! Or the writing in the victim's blood and the other clues left behind, it seems pretty likely that this garden was the scene of Miss Elise Donham's murder. At least that's her current theory on how the events took place, pal. What?! So Miss Donham was killed here?
However you want to look at it, that's what people are saying now. Then, what Sister Bikini saw in the courtyard at the main temple was... Well, what was it? If that wasn't the scene of the crime, what did she see? What do you think? This is about karma! Surely a special gumshoe investigation will reveal the answer, no? But wait a sec! The bloody writing and all the other clues here! Someone could have easily set all that up after the murder, right? Sorry, but that's not an option now. Why not? How quickly you forget, right? Ever since the incident occurred, this place has been completely inaccessible. The dusty bridge was completely burned out. I was overseeing repairs to the bridge the whole time. No one came over here before me and my men. Which means no one could have planted all this stuff here, now. I can't think of a counter-argument to that. I knew it. I should have washed the blood off the lantern as soon as I got here. If this really was the scene of the crime, then I need to figure out exactly what it was that Bikini actually saw. It seems you have a visitor. Mr. Wright! Iris, I'm really glad to see you! Goto managed to mobilize the police by claiming a state of emergency. Not him again. Never mind him. We've got to hurry and unlock the sacred cavern. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. It's my fault someone so important to you is locked in there. It's Edward. Can we finish our conversation later? Alright. Let's hurry to the inner temple then. I'll see you later, Wright. Wait, Edward! I'm coming with you guys! Sorry, Wright. I can't allow you to come with us. What? I hate to be the one to break it to you, but my FA is in a rather delicate position. What do you mean by a delicate position? This isn't simply a rescue operation, right? It's also an investigation. That being the case, we can't allow members of the public to interfere. Come on, Edgeworth! If anything happens, you'll be the first to know. Please understand, right? But it's Maya! Mr. Wright! All that matters is that Mystic Maya is rescued, correct? Listen to the voice of reason for a change, Phoenix, right? From now on, consider anything beyond Dusky Bridge to be off limits. We'll be going now. Excuse us. Ah! This is no time to be standing around, Phoenix, right? Aren't there other things that demand your attention? She's right. Thanks for reminding me. Every night, Hazakura Temple Main Hall. Sister Bikini looks like she's shrunk some since I last saw her. Don't be so rude, Phoenix, right? What's wrong, Sister Bikini? My! Hello, you two. How are you doing? By the sound of that sigh, I guess she's still pretty down. Iris was just here, you know. She was accompanied by the handsome crimson-clad prince. Is she talking about Edgeworth? It was just a courtesy call. I wasn't allowed to talk with her at all. Oh dear, it's all my fault that this has happened. Poor Iris, she was worried about my back, would you believe? What have I done to her? Only what you had to do, sister. You bravely and truthfully testified about what you saw. There's no shame in that. And we'll see to it that your testimony wasn't made in vain. Well, I don't hear anyone else saying that. Mr. Blue Suits doesn't seem to share your opinion, I see. Huh? Me? Ah! Oh, yes, you did great, Sister Bikini. Absolutely spectacular! You two are the only ones who've said that to me. I can't shake the feeling that I've just become a shell to a shrew. Do you have a problem, Phoenix, right? Sure, she was brave to testify so truthfully like that. But I know she's still hiding something. I guess it's time to break those cyclops of her. Take that! Sister Bikini, the truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. I'm convinced that Miss Elise Donum had a special significance to this temple. As to why she had a special significance, I believe it has to do with her true identity. What on earth are you talking about? She was... But Mystic Elise was an author, just an author of picture books. To be honest, I had my suspicions almost immediately after I met her. Suspicions? Yes, but I didn't have any evidence to support my theory. But now I do. This piece of evidence proves Miss Donum's true identity. Stoneham had this charm with her at all times. Ha! Where did you... This isn't some cheap good luck charm either. Then, what do you think it is, Mr. Wright? What could a talisman like that possibly mean? It's a talisman, isn't it? Interesting. Oops! This thing speaks volumes about who Miss Stoneham really is. This talisman and one other item unequivocally prove Miss Stoneham's true identity. Take that! The painting is obscured by this gravy stain at the moment. But this scroll shows the master of the Kurain channeling technique. The crest at the top is a sign of that honorable title. The very same crest that adorns the talisman the victim carried with her. Ah! This crest is reserved for the master of Kurain. Hello, Saturn. Who on earth told you that nonsense? I've got no idea what you're talking about. The new master, Maya Fey, told me. What? What? You mean that Acolyte is Misty Fey's daughter? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. In fact, since her eldest daughter passed away, Maya is Misty Fey's sole successor. Mystic Misty! Mystic Elise graced us with her presence about a week ago. When she showed me the talisman with that mark on it, well, I nearly fainted. No one had seen her since she disappeared 17 years ago, after all. What is the significance of this talisman, sister? The Kurain talisman is a symbol of the Master of Kurain. The bearer must carry it with them always until their death. Until their death? Elise Stoneham was really Maya's mother, huh? She was Misty Fey, the master of the Kurain channeling technique. The truth comes out at last. It looks like we're making some headway here. Tell me, sister. After 17 years, why did she choose to show herself now? Because something happened that called her out of hiding. What happened? Well... What's happening? It can't be! An earthquake! Ah! Oh my goodness! The inner temple! This kind of tremor might... The inner temple? The SEGA cavern in the training hall! It might very well cave in! What? Maya! It seems to have passed. Well, we can't just stand here and do nothing. Let's go! What? Where? To the inner temple, of course! Where else? Sister Bikini, we'll finish this later, alright? Of course. You run along now. People may have been hurt. I must get some first aid kits ready. Come on then, Phoenix Wright. They won't bar you from entering as long as I'm with you. Thank you. Right, at that moment I had the worst feeling in my gut. We just had an earthquake. I wonder if he's alright. You look worried. Are you thinking about Miles Edgeworth? Come on, let's go. We gotta hurry to the inner temple and... Right! Ah! What are you doing here? How could I have... How do you expect us to understand if you don't speak up? Ow! Hey, why am I the one getting whipped? She's gone. No! The defendant, Iris. She's gone. Gone where? She fled. She escaped. What? So, it was just now, during the... It's easy to see Edgeworth's one and only weakness, his fear of earthquakes. I should have known better than to escort the defendant alone. As soon as the guard started shaking, everything went dark before my eyes, and I stupidly passed out. That incident haunts you to this day, doesn't it? That's no excuse for letting the suspect get away. I can't believe I let it happen. Right, the inner temple area is a dead end, so she could have only escaped to this side. If you haven't seen her, then we need to get a manhunt underway now and search Eagle Mountain from top to bottom. Wait, Edgeworth, have you thoroughly checked the inner temple yet? Don't be ridiculous. Why would I? The inner temple is like an island. There's no way to escape but to cross. No, that's not it. Iris is the type of person to run away, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? Sister Bikini mentioned something when we were with her. She said that the sacred cavern might have caved in because of the quake. You think Iris might have gone to the inner temple to check on the situation? Listen, Edgeworth. I'm sure she's at the inner temple. A manhunt is not necessary. Right.
Let's not waste any more time. We need to get to the training hall, Sacred Cavern, now! Alright, let's go! February night, Inner Temple, Training Hall. Fortunately, the Sacred Cavern hasn't caved in, but what we found, none of us could have made that first impression. How could there be even more locks? What is the meaning of this? And there she is. There's the true Dahlia right there. Iris! Iris, please tell me, what the hell is going on? February 9th, Inner Temple, Training Hall. Right, is this what Godot was talking about? Yeah, the trick locks. Now then, Iris, please remove these at once. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid I can't. It's not possible for me. What? During the earthquake where the cavern was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. And I know there was only one lock when I last came here. So you're saying that you can't undo the new locks? Yes. If only I was stronger! Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale in the face. Like you're one to talk with your face all green. Miles Edgeworth, go and get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You go and get a grip on yourself. Don't be ridiculous! I'm perfectly fine! There's no telling what sort of mistakes you could make in your current state. Go and get some rest. That's your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth. Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here. Edgeworth. He's got so much pride that he's probably off crying in the corner of the garden. Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. That said, one must have pride to be effective on the job. At any rate, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix Wright. I'm going to stay here and see if I can't help solve these bothersome puzzles. I see. Well, thanks for your help. Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris? No, not at all. Why did you make a run for it, Iris? I'm sorry. I heard the Inner Temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was so worried. I just had to come and see. In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least we're clear on that. I can't tell you how relieved I was when I saw the Sacred Cavern was alright, but what? Then I saw these chains here. I saw all these extra locks that someone had put on the Sacred Cavern's door, and... Who in the world would do something like this? These trick locks are a sacred treasure of the Korean tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the person who set the lock can open it. And you aren't the one who set these locks? I don't think it's that simple, Sister Valkarma. When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them. What does that mean? It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. And they wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. This means that Iris can only open one of these locks. The first one. Yes, that's correct. What? Iris, try to think, please. Isn't there any way around this? Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them. But it will take time, won't it? Yes, about a day if I had to guess. A whole day? Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us? Sure, I'll do whatever I can. We've got to wait another day? Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call on your inner strength now. You're talking to Maya. You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get. And what might that be, Phoenix, right? I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hasakura Temple at the time of the incident. But you were seen that same evening at the Inner Temple. And then, you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hasakura Temple, too.
being spotted at both Hasakura Temple and the Inner Temple. It's as if you were... Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth. I knew it. There's something going on here that we don't know about. Every night in a temple gate. I'm finally getting to the bottom of this case. I can count on Iris to break those locks, so I should try to gather some more clues. From Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and Pearls. Every night, Dusky Bridge. It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. It sure gets quiet up here in the mountains when you're all on your own. Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out the shack just down this path. Maybe I'll find Larry there sulking again. Every night, Heavenly Hall. Oh, Mr. Nick! Pearls, what are you doing here? Nothing. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright? Well, we don't know yet. Oh, I see. Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry, this is the loser shack where losers get together to lose themselves. Is this the what? Hey, we find comfort in each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with that? Look, Mr. Nick, Mr. Larice did a picture of me. That's some Pearls. We're going to gather firewood now. We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire, so stay out of our way. I don't believe this. Why can't he try getting fired up over becoming a better man? No one believes a word I say anymore. Listen to me, Pearl. You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? He'll only let you down. Oh, Mystic Maya. Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture? Heh, I've got nothing to say to you, Nick. My life's here now with Pearl. Two losers cooking potatoes together forevermore. What am I going to do with him? Alright then, what do you think about this picture, Pearls? I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw at all, so I think it's really amazing. See, someone appreciates it. It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know? It's supposed to be Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream, a wonderful fantasy. No, it wasn't a dream. She really flew, I'm telling you, Iris. Iris really flew that night. But Mr. Larice. Not you too. Please don't look at me like that, Pearl. Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase, I beg of you. I guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw. Okay, so I was half asleep when I was here that night. But I was wide awake after the lightning struck. And I saw what I saw. It was exactly like I drew in the picture. It looks like I don't have any choice but to take this sketch at face value. Hey, what's with the look of doubt on your face? Pearls. Yes, Mr. Nick? I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you? And what exactly were you doing when it all happened? I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know? I'm sure it doesn't really matter what I was doing, does it, Mr. Nick? Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Miss Donham's room, reading a book together. But Miss Donham was murdered, and you, Pearls, were at the Inner Temple. Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls. I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick. I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished. What are you talking about, Pearls? My spiritual power, it has disappeared. What? Her powers have disappeared? What do you mean your power has disappeared, Pearls? It's all over for me. A spirit medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint. Hey, what are you looking at me for? Pearls, did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at Hasakura Temple? Tried but failed, perhaps? Ah! Way to go, Nick! You made her cry! That was really cool of you! Ah! Just as I thought. I'm going to have to break her cycle to get the truth out of her. February 9th, Hasakura Temple, main gate. I wonder if Sister Bikini is back at the main hall yet. Ah, good water. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. I bet Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type. February 9th, Hasakura Temple, Main Hall. Well, what's the damage? How is the Sacred Cavern? It looks like it survived, but we have a bigger problem now. I told Sister Bikini all about it. About the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the Sacred Cavern. But who? Who could have done that? The only people who know how to set those trick locks are those of the Korean tradition. We have Iris at the Sacred Cavern trying her best to open them for us right now. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini. Oh yes, we were in the middle of a chat, weren't we? Yes, you were telling me how the Master of Korean disappeared 17 years ago. I want to know why Misty Faye suddenly appeared at this temple. It was about a week ago when Mystic Mystic Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman that proved she was the Master, she said, someone is trying to destroy the Korean's tradition main family line. I'm here to put a stop to them. Someone was trying to destroy the main family line? There's only one heir to the title of Master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. That child becomes the new Master of Korean, and our daughter's the main family. All of the mediums become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed about the history of the clan. Branch families always have and always will plot to erase those of the main family line. Is the power of the Master worth this much bloodshed? You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power is real. Yes, I do. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her challenge the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During the Master Mask case, and during Maggie Bride's trial, too. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her the most. The Korean technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to commune with the dead. That's true psychic power, you know. Members of the tradition have always been there, behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill? I suppose so, but with all that power and influence, I kind of expected you to be really rich by now. Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? You're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in it anymore, you see. All because of one little mistake. A mistake? What mistake? It was 17 years ago. That's when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident. That incident? Is she talking about what I think she is? I'm sure the record still exists if you're interested. Locked up, of course. It was called the DL6 incident. That's the name of the file. The DL6 incident. I knew it! The DL6 incident. I knew it to know it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago. Ah! That's right! So it was you who was the defense attorney on that case. A murder that took place 17 years ago. It was the first time in the country's history the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer, and the medium performed the channeling was Mystic Faye, Maya's mother. Through Mystic Misty's channeling, the name of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action. But that man was found not guilty. Wasn't he? That's right, he was, and the case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It was the first case the world had ever seen the Korean tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media. The public, the judiciary, the people of Korean Village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Mystic Misty's powers were a sham. And then she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud. But I know the truth! Mystic Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all! Of course it wasn't. And since she managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making her comeback. The Korean tradition is starting to recover at last, with a new master wielding the power of the clan. Does she mean Maya? The spiritual power of the Korean channeling technique is in the blood. Maya's told me the exact same thing before. We, the women of the Faye clan, have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly through us. According to Maya, only the women in the family can inherit the power. The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Amy, but with each new generation, only one daughter becomes the new master, and the ones who don't become branch families, right? That's right. was always the cause of tragedy. You know, Maya had a sister too, an older sister named Mia. Oh yes, I've heard of her.
What? You know about Mia?
Of course. She became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother, and lost her life as a result. You know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition.
Really?
Well, she saw what happened to her own mother, Mystic Misty, as she grew up. I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mom and her aunt. That's right, Misty Faye had an elder sister too, and Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the Master Seat from her. Mystic Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know.
Yeah, I know about Morgan.
Morgan. There's a name I know well. It was a year ago now, at Maya's home, Karain Village. What she did was terrible. It was all so she could make her own daughter the next master. I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must have already realized that Iris... Huh? What's Iris got to do with any of this? That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter, too.
What? Iris is what? Is she kidding me? Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter? Did you just say that Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter?
Oops, I thought you already knew. It sounded like you'd met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have. I know her very well.
Oh? Yes, Pearl Faye. But I always thought she was an only child.
You jest! That child, she's Mystic Morgan's... I had no idea.
Mystic Morgan? But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yes. Ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year.
It's all done to set Pearls up as the next master. I see. So I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2.
Wait, what?
3? Yes, Iris, her twin sister, and Mystic Pearl.
What?
Twin sister? Oh, didn't you know it all happened 20 years ago? After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled.
It wasn't many years later that Karain's reputation hit an all-time low. When Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master, he left her in the village, taking their twin daughters with him.
How awful! He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up, and he looked after her by us here at the temple. That was Iris, you see. It's unbelievable. If Iris has a twin sister, could it be? Could you tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris' sister? I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler. Well, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details. Pearls had 2 older sisters, huh? Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger towards the main family. Anger? What do you mean? Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband, but even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead a clan. That's why she had pearls? It seems that the incident here was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. It was able to break free of the bars that confine her, so Iris has a twin sister. The plot thickens, but this information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. We ask more questions to get some more info. Memory 9th Hazakura Temple Courtyard. Sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming? No motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. I remember when we used to search in the channeling room at Rain. Whoop, I love my job. Who cares if the clues I find are no good? That's not what investigations are about. The investigator investigates for the love of investigating. It's a passion. Good cases we had, good cases we lost along the way. I would have never guessed that Gumtree was into reggae. Every case is going to be airtight. Every case is going to be airtight.
Hey, pal.
Huh? Who, me? How long have you been there? I just got here. Oh, okay. So what are you up to, detective? I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Mr. Edward. I promised him to find the real murder weapon. A real murder weapon? That barbed sword thing turned out to be a false lead, right? I'm giving it my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any clues. I just found these weird scraps of paper. It looks like a letter or something. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though. A letter? So how's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe? I don't know if I should be telling you, pal, but I guess it can't hurt. Looks like the murder took place in the Inner Temple Garden. And they're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ. What? You mean? I don't have the details, pal. All I know is if you don't find Maya down in that secret cabin, we're going to be faced with one ugly situation. What kind of ugly situation are we looking at here? You got me, I don't know. They're not my words, pal. And who said it? Mr. Godot. Godot? What did he mean by that? About that letter. Don't remind me, pal. I'm busting a gut here trying to find a murder weapon here. And all I find is some burnt-up old letter. Burnt-up old letter? Yeah, it was in that incinerator right outside the Inner Temple. The incinerator? I knew it. I knew I wasn't imagining things. There was snow on the incinerator when I first saw it. But after the incident, the snow had melted away, which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder. What's up with you, pal? I've got it right here if you want to take a look. Can I? Do you mind? Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit mediums and masters and stuff. I bet it's got no relation to the case. Spirit mediums? It's got to be important if it meant to spirit mediums and masters. I better give it a good looking over and some serious thought. Make sure you chuck it in the trash when you're done. Littering's a crime, pal. What do you know about the real murder weapon so far? Well, it wasn't the Shichito that was found impaled in the victim's body. Mr. Edward proved that in court today. Yes, that's true. In which case, it must have been another blade. And that's what you were running around like a headless chicken looking for now, huh? Yeah, man, it's a tiring work. But let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We've got the feather of forensics in our cap these days. We're using the department's secret weapon on this. Secret weapon? What's the secret weapon of yours? You want to know? You've got to think scientifically, okay? Alright, the murder weapon was a sword. Swords are scientifically speaking made of metal, right? Any questions so far? No. I know what he's going to say, but I'll let him look smart. So what's the perfect tool for the job? Ta-da! Metal detector! Raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away. Well, you want to give scientific investigation a go? Me? I've been using this thing for hours now. It gets pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a try? I don't know. Should I help Detective Gumshoe out or not? Come on, pal. It's good fun, I'm telling you. Alright, then. I guess I'll give it a go. Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget. The absolute best. It's so sensitive you can make it cry. It's so high-tech you can skydive off of it. Oh, bother. So now I'm going to tell you how to use it. It's possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right? Sure, that's what we're trying to find out. Right, so first let's turn the detector on. That's the sound of the metal detector signal bouncing off of something metallic. Next, move the detector around and get this courtyard a good look-see, pal. Don't worry, this baby will let you know when you've hit on something metallic. I didn't read that. This is Miss Donham's staff, isn't it? Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood, but the detector is reacted to it. Yeah, but however you look at it, this thing's made of wood, right? I don't bother investigating a thing unless it looks like it might be metallic. Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it? It's weird that this thing is causing a racket. Here, let me take a look at it. Hey, hands off! Examining evidence is a job for the... Ah! The top is coming off. Look what you've done! You've damaged a really important piece of evidence! Ah! That's a sword inside the staff. Could it be the murder weapon? I never have guessed there'd be a sword concealed in the victim's staff. They call this kind of thing a sword cane, pal. This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or else the victim would have stabbed her own foot. I officially give up on trying to figure out how games and gumshoes might work. If the real scene of the crime was in a temple, though, why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Hey, Gumshoe, who knows about the hidden sword? No one. Even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now. Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe. It doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it. And I guess this isn't the murder weapon, huh? No. I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder. Yeah, of course! This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal! It's about the same length as the sheet, though, too. This must be the murder weapon. Okay, I'm gonna run over to forensics. There's gotta be some traces of blood left, even if most of it has been wiped off. See you later, pal! Every case is gotta be airtight. Every case is gotta be airtight. Wait up, detective! Huh? What is it, pal? I'm a pretty busy guy right now, you know? You're going to get that staff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding off for just a while? Huh? What are you talking about, pal? Please! Until we find Maya. Maya? What's this got to do with her? I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Oh, how so? Look, Maya's trapped inside the SEGA cabin right now. Well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel. You don't think? Maya's been murdered. Please, detective! Let's just wait until we can get inside the SEGA cavern. You're looking kind of viridian there. Okay, just stop it with that face, pal. One thing, though. The staff's secret trick, let's keep it between you and me, right? If it gets out that we knew about it and we didn't say anything, we're finished. I understand. This is just a regular, run-of-the-mill staff, you got it? Okay, now you take good care of it, pal. Thank you, detective. Don't worry, she'll be fine. Gumshoe. You know, there's a place at the base of this mountain that has some really good pasta. How about I take you there when we find Maya, huh, pal? Sure, thanks. I can't help but wonder, what was Elise Donham doing with a staff like this in the first place? February 9th in a temple garden. The cops are still combing the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. It's gotta be a tough job. Especially with someone giving you the evil eye the whole time. How could I have done that? Wow, I can't believe it's still bothering him. The worst. Ah! Hey, don't you dare run away! What do you want, right? What I want? If you came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away! I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edward. You went back to the Criminal Affairs Department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris. Yes, and thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden, huh? There's a high chance this is the actual scene of the crime, that's why. You mean because of the writing in blood? And the talisman in the snow? Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder. But surely, you don't suspect Maya, do you? We have to treat everyone as a suspect. Maya, as well as Iris. It's our job, right? So I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes. No, but thankfully my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath. 17 years ago, when we were little school kids at the same elementary school, Edward found himself in the middle of a murder. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse. Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's what had happened. A single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. My dreams, my family, and myself. It's been more than 17 years now, and that case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right? You think I don't know that? I was there, but it was such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself in my life. I'm sorry, Wright. There's nothing else I could say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake, and not after you saved me. Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think, so no more of this self-pity, okay? There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I'd seen her from somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before. So you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look for her file? Yes, I checked over every case file I've ever worked on. And I was right. I had seen her face before, 6 years ago. 6 years ago? It was my first appearance in court. And as case ago, it was my worst nightmare. So, who is she? I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public. What? Why not? It might be the crucial piece of the puzzle that solves this case. The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris and Hasakura Temple, and neither did the case. No, that woman is completely unrelated to this murder. Unrelated? Yes, I can say that with complete confidence. You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. I need to fill Edgeworth in. I need to explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know that Iris had a twin sister? What? A twin? You can't be serious! Since Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin. There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father, a jeweler, I think. A jeweler?! Right? I just might know who this twin sister of hers is. I had a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right? Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth. Please. It was my first court case 6 years ago. I was agreed for it, and due to my experience, the defendant died. You're talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about that case? You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh, and this is where she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. After Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead. What? Well, her metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. What do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth? Right. I must confess that in reading your file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey. Mia Fey? Mia Fey! At the time, Dahlia,
It's like she was possessed by a demon or something. It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month. Executed? I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. But do you understand now? She can't possibly be connected with this case. She's dead, and once someone is dead, there's no way to revive them. There's no way to revive the dead? I wonder. It seems you're not aware of one other connection yet, Edgeworth. And what is that? It's about Iris and Dahlia's mother, Hawthorne's mother. What's their mother got to do with any of this? She's Morgan Fay, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Kurain channeling technique. Did you say Kurain channeling technique? Do you know something about it? Oh yes, I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium. Fraudulent? I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's what they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium, the master of her channeling school. But you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they were all fraudulent. Edgeworth, go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the DL6s in the case file and you'll know. Of course. How could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then you'll see that the Kurain channeling technique is real. Night of the crime. I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing on that night. You said you were in your room at Hasakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim that to be the truth? Yes, that's where I was. Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me too. But I can't, because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder. I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course. Sister Bikini. Her testimony in court today was very clear. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up, violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. Sister Bikini didn't just see you, she spoke with you. The two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the inner temple on the night of the murder. That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. The acolyte's actual training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early so I wouldn't be late. What time was that? Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple, so I would have left that at about 9:40 p.m. I think. Sorry, guys, but lying just doesn't suit. Huh? Now, you say you left the main hall at 9:40 p.m., but what you say doesn't add up with this. You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night. Ah! Plus, only moments before you rang that bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have. Who's that? Me. Mr. Wright, you even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten. No, that's right. I remember. And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the inner temple. And second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell of Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility. There were 2 of you. On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time, which means there must have been 2 of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris. But that's crazy! How could that be? There's only 1 of me! It's impossible! Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise. You're seriously trying to suggest there's more than 1 of me? Then show me the evidence. Show me something that proves there is more than 1 of me. firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps. Ah! That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne, a woman I know only too well. I had no idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer... Yes, I know. Her sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry. Thank you. There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? The second you who was here at the temple on the night of the murder. It was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne. But you just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that? Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground of the Korean channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it! And that's the secret you've been trying to hide from me. Ah! I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I'd been spotted at the inner temple, I knew. I knew it was my sister, Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month. Just as I suspected, the Iris that Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before? But because my sister always does the right thing. Excuse me? And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before. I can't do it again. You betrayed her? What do you mean? That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way. What is she talking about? You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago? That was the start of it all. It's what started her down that twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime, and in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her. How did you betray her, Iris? It was no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing. What? I got scared, so I ran away. What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father! That's awful! But I promised that I'd help. And she didn't do it for the money. Huh? It was revenge on our father. Revenge? What do you mean by revenge? He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away, then sent her to hell. Her mother? She must be talking about Morgan Fay. Our mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch of the Fay family. The main family had a lot of influence in many business and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was set to inherit all of that as the next master. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place, for power. But his plan backfired, because our mother's sister took it all from her. She took over as the master of Korea. That would be Misty Fay, Maya's mother. But before long, the credibility of the Korean tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Mystic Misty Fay, made a terrible mistake. It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident. After that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place. He said it was a hick drive, and that he had no reason to stay there. And that's when you came to Hasakura Temple? Yes. The woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter. Valerie. I had no place in this family, you see. Oh. I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having the master seat stolen from her and being rejected by her own family, I've heard she's been very battered, spiritually and emotionally. I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together. I have asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it, goes back to the history of the Fay clan. That's what it looks like. Iris, there's just one more thing I want you to tell me. What is it? During the incident in which your sister Dahlia Hawthorne poisoned the lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student, have you heard anything about him? Well, I did hear one thing. She says she hated his guts. I see. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. Hurry up, Phoenix Wright! There's still much to investigate. Leave these blocks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise. Thank you, Pearls. I better continue my investigation. There's still one giant secret left to unlock. Pearl's Cyclops. February 9th, Heavenly Hall. Look at that! They really did make a fire right in front of the shack. Oh, Mr. Nick! Ha! You're too late, Nick. If you came here for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off. I think I pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding.
Take that!
After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in at least Donham's room, reading a book together, correct? Yes, I was so happy when she invited me. But I didn't go in the end. You didn't go? No, there was someone else I had to go instead. I was so worried. I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous. So Pearls never went to Miss Donham's room because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls? On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? Then the next question is, who or what were you so worried about? Now I'm going to take a guess. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay? You mean you know? If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth? Okay. You went to this place for one very simple reason. That is this.
Take that!
It's obvious what you were so worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it? Ah! You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course. I signed up for your special course. Well, my. Quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel. Mr. Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Hasakura Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you? Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the Inner Temple. Then we're clear now that she went to the Inner Temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the Inner Temple? It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started, but there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock. So after 10? How do you know what time it was? Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out. You heard the lights out bell? The Hasakura Temple bell is pretty small to me. You must have really good hearing. I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible. You were trying to hear the bell? Tell me, Pearls. Why were you so worried about hearing that bell? Huh? Oh, I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell was because of this. You were given some instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper. Ah! Where did you? In the incinerator at the Inner Temple. Pearls, you were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell. I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing. These instructions that were found in the incinerator. I believe they were written for you, Pearls. For me? No. As you can see, a large portion has been burnt out, but the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and the purpose of writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? You'll overthink it, means it's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was... It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. Ah! It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose sister Bikini met at the Inner Temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was? No.
I've never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions. I thought so. Rose doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Wherever it was actually the channel of spirit of someone you've never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. Here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow? Take that! Pearls, I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you, that's why. How did you... I figured it out. The person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay! Ah! Alright, Pearls. It's time you started telling me the truth. Mr. Nick, why is she holding back from me? I don't like this. Don't underestimate me, just because I'm a child, huh? Are you trying to say I followed the instructions. I'd like to see some proof. What? Because I don't think you have any. You say anything rather than admit to carrying out those instructions. I guess I have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. Alright, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you. I knew it! However, I do know that whoever did it was a child. Huh? How did you know that? It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that. A simple mistake? What do you mean by that? I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you put together, but you misunderstood some of the words, and this is the evidence that proves it. Take that! It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging squirrel, wasn't it? Ah! But why would I do something like that? Do you remember what was written in that letter? Bravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. But you didn't know how to read the words bravely and roast, among others, right? How do you know that? Remember the conversation you had with Miss Donham on the night of the murder? Perhaps we can read some books together. But really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading. Well then, would you like to practice reading with me? Miss Elise, so for example, how do you read this? It says bravely. That's kind of a tough word. Sure, Miss Donham taught you how to read gravely and roast, but what she didn't teach you is what they meant. Gravely sounds like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food. And that's why you did it. That's why you covered a picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast. To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea. Just a tiny bit. I really am useless. I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right. After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple, with a pot full of the leftover gravy. The gravy? I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure it was the Master of Terrain, like I said in the letter. I see. And then, well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. I went to the inner temple guest area. The guest area? Yes, I thought I could wait there until the training was over. Why didn't you just go to the training hall? Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then Girl, did you fall asleep? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it. Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fell asleep waiting for Iris too. It happens. Anyway, I think you found yourself trapped in the inner temple. Yes, when I woke up, it was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore, and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter into the incinerator, then I heated up the leftover gravy and I let off some steam by chucking gravy on the floor while you cried. It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school, too. Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry. It was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as you hear the lights out, though,
You must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring. So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit? No, I tried, but I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it? I never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried, and I tried, and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it. Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh! Just like that. So she never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone? Yes, I don't know what to do. Is there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though. Could you please tell me what it is anyway? It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Someone else? What do you mean? Well, there's only one of each spirit, right? Yep, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken. Then that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearl did. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a failure. I couldn't even grant my mother's final wish. Her final wish? Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, she said. So make sure you follow the instructions carefully. This letter. I definitely need to find out more about it. My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary. Yeah, I know, Pearls. I visit her every month, and last month she told me the time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden. My mother is always nice to me. I love her very much. Yeah, moms will do anything for their kids, right? She said it was for the good of the Fae clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fae clan, so it had to be good for her too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick? I guess so, yeah. There was a picture with her letter too. A picture? Of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time... Pretty weird, huh? Like Larry knows anything about this stuff. There's something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before. That sure is pretty strange. Someone had opened it already. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out. You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us. I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright. Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Ha! Oh god! Finally figured it out, have you, Trey? You finally realized how terrible a crime being painfully oblivious is. Koto! The entrance to the SEGA camera looks like a freaking puzzle workshop. I guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort. But it's all a waste of time. But why do you say that? Because my FA isn't coming back. What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that? It was your job to protect him, right? Just like it was your job to protect me, FA. Two sisters caught up in the worst circumstances. I realize that, but... And you were the only one who was by their side. You were the only one who could have saved them. But I didn't know anything about what was going on! Ha! What did I just say, Trot? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow. We'll settle everything in court tomorrow. Once and for all. But Mr. Nick, is what that man just said true? It'll be alright, Pearls. Sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick. My dear Pearl, you've done so well, my child. My Pearl. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. The blood of the main family is no more. Now finally, after all this time, the master seat is yours. My last great wish. It seems I was just in time. Demon! Devil! Whew! Okay, I think that's going to be it for today. I wanted to finish this up, but my goodness, this chapter is really, really long. So, we shall finish the remainder of episode 5 tomorrow. So, thank you all for watching. And as always, as your host, TheAmariaShadow, say hello, Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!